Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing Planet. Welcome back to the channel as well. So today we're going to be going over Mudwater River and how to make some money there. You're now a level 4 and you're excited to get out of Lonestar Lake and move on to the next place. I choose not to go over to the Lesney Villa fishery. Although you can at level 3, I choose not to just because I like catching the American fish more than the carp and the roaches, the European perch. None of these fish here interest me. So I choose not to go over to Lesney Villa. So back over here to Mudwater. If you do choose to go this route, I personally feel like your best option is to go for the chain pickerel, which is going to be right here. They can weigh up to 4 pounds, or we have the grass pickerel. Although those get trophy, they only get to 1.5 pounds. So as a level 4, you shouldn't have any issues catching either of those fish. I believe they make right around even money for pound when it comes to getting money and leveling up. So with that being said, let's head over to our inventory, and we are going to start off with the value spin 6'3". You should still have that from Lonestar. That should be your spinning rod that you used at Lonestar. I have that paired with the Inspire Cast 2000, up to 3.5 pounds maximum drag, which you still will be able to catch all of the pickerel that you want. Even if you do get a 4-pounder, the max drag will still... You'll end up having to loosen your drag, but you can fight that fish and actually bring it in. I have that paired up with 3-pound mono, and also have that paired up with a 1/3 ounce #1 casting spoon. And again, it doesn't matter gold or silver, but you should have both of those options available to you at this level. For our second setup, I have a Telefloat 14-foot 9-inch, which is the intro rod that you get for catching bluegill and perch. It's the initial float rod that you get set up. 2 to 4 pound test, just fine. I have that paired up with the Mini Spin 800, which you should also still have. So no money spent. Maximum drag is 2.75 pounds, which is just fine. I have that with 2-pound mono. Here's the kicker, is you do have to get the chubby bobber, because you will end up throwing minnows on this, and the chubby bobber has a high maximum float weight, if you see there on the left. So we want to be able to hold up those minnows so that your bobber doesn't sink. No leader. I have a #1 hook, and I also have that paired up with some small minnows. Before we get into it, your travel cost. This is the first time that you will have to consider spending money to go someplace instead of just getting your free ride over to Lonestar Lake, which costs you $0 in travel cost and 0 days. If you saw my first video on Lonestar making money, you'll know that I suggest getting the advanced Texas license, unlimited, with Baitcoin. That way you always have a safety net to fall back on to make money. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll have the link down in the description. Going over to Mudwater, it's going to cost you $1,000 to travel there. Then it's going to cost you $200 for the first day that you fish. And then the kicker is you're also going to need another $200 for a second day, because at this level you have a keep net that's only 15 pounds. You're going to fill that up relatively quickly, and that's not going to be enough money to make your money back and go for another day. So if you, as long as you have $1,400 in your bank, then you will be all set to go, because after the first day, it will sell all of your fish, but you don't have access to that money until you get through paying for your second day of being in Mudwater. And you'll want to stay there multiple days. That way you can fill up your keep net and then advance on to the next day, let the cool down happen, and then refill your rinse and repeat. You're going to refill your keep net and keep on moving. So let's get into Mudwater River. All right, something else I forgot to mention is the advanced license in Mudwater. Now, I made the mistake and I spent bait coins on the advanced Missouri license. If you want to, you can do that. I wanted a cheap option to where I could go back and still get a little bit better fish than Lonestar Lake, but I don't think I would suggest buying the unlimited advanced Missouri license, but you will need to get the advanced Missouri license, and for one day, and the licenses work in real life time. So you will get a full 24 hours in real life to be able to come and go as you please on the advanced Missouri license. So you'll want to make sure that you have that before you come. We are going to load into the last songs of summer, and we are going to immediately turn around and we are going to walk the bank. We're going to load up our first rod, the casting spoon. I'll show you that first. This first exit is the one that we're going to take on the path. And there are these 3 or 4 logs that are sticking up out of the water. This is your key place to fish, where a lot of fish will be at. I'm going to go with the 2-speed reel. And again, I'm 1 under on the drag setting, 1 under from max drag. So you're gonna want to fish just out here. I need to advance time real quick. That is another important thing. You need to make sure that you're moving time forward to hit the peak parts of the days. Now, what that also means is down at the bottom here, you'll read cooldown for next fast forward is going to be 41 minutes and 42 seconds. That is in real life time. So you will need to fish here for 42 minutes, we'll say, in order to advance time again. Once you transfer into the night, it no longer costs any cooldown time in order for you to move on to the next day. So, as you see here, as I move along the nighttime, the time does not increase down on the bottom. If you keep moving down during the daytime, it does move down your cool time based on how many hours you're moving forward. And everybody's weather will be different. So, let's move to noon with this 42-minute cooldown. And we are going to forward time. Now, again, casting just out here, maybe 115 feet or so is all you need to cast. 105, that'll work. I'm going to let it sink a little bit. And then I love to do the 3-star twitch retrieve. And it doesn't matter if it's on the top because that spoon is spinning and you will connect. Oh, already getting hit on the first cast. And make sure that you reel it all the way in because those chain pickerel love to just come up and see, I've got one following right there and just struck at it. So, we're going to keep on fishing this. And there we have it, our first hookup. Took me a few casts. These fish are being a little picky today. But there we have it, a grass pickerel, $66 for 0.75 pounds. That is a little bit small, but I promise they do get bigger. Hooked up again, and this one seems to be a little bit bigger. At least he's putting up a fight. There's 0.88 pounds and $77. We will keep him. Also, another thing, if you're not having very much luck over here by the logs, you can always turn around and along this weed bed, I'll show you here in the map. So we are up here right now, and we're fishing towards this right here, this little shallow part, which gives you a little bit more width. I was fishing anywhere from over here to all the way up here and was still able to catch them. Now, if you turn around, there is a shallow section that goes along this shoreline here, and there's a little bit of weeds that if you cast right along that drop off, you can get some good pickerel in there. And immediately hooked up on the first cast. A grass pickerel, $42 for 0.48 pounds. I keep catching all the little ones right now. You can always increase your hook size as well, depending on what level you are. You can always increase your hook size. That just means your bite may slow down a little bit, but it also allows for the bigger fish to be able to be caught. And hooked up here on our third cast. We've got a grass pickerel, $54 for 0.61. So we're going to keep that as well. Now, something I'll mention is it is worth doing the Dendro challenge, the Dendrofin mission. If you go in here and go into your fish monsters and pull up the Mudwater challenge, I still have yet to catch the Dendrofin, but if you get 5 pieces of bark, it will give you, I will show you here, it gives you a spoon. It is a spoon made out of bark, and it has, if you look over here, it's a 1/2 ounce, and it has a 3/0 hook on it. So it's a pretty big hook, and that's where you'll catch some big ones. I do recommend doing that. The Dendrofin is 13 pounds, so at a level 4 you're not going to be able to catch that. You'll want to come back and catch that another time once you've leveled up and have the proper equipment to do so. But you can, as long as you don't activate the mission, like hitting track mission, as long as you don't do that, the Dendrofin monster will not spawn. So, and you can also catch the mudfish as well, regular mudfish. But we will throw this out a couple of times and I'll show you what you can catch with these. And we are hooked up. Took me 3 casts to get hooked up with this. Hopefully this is a little bit bigger fish. That way I can show you the potential money that you can bring in. Also, if you're struggling with catching bark for this challenge, if you cast anywhere near these stumps, like put your lure right behind the stump with any kind of open hook. See, this one's 0.82 pounds and $72. See if we can't get some bigger ones here. But if you cast your lure just behind here, as close as you can to it and reel up to it, you'll get snagged on those logs and then hopefully bring in some bark if you're struggling for that challenge for the Dendro spoon. Come on, let's get a big one. Hopefully this one has some weight on it. It seems like it will. This one's putting up a much better fight than those small grass pickerel that I had. He's still not done fighting. And here we go, the chain pickerel. This is what you're after right here. 1.7 pounds and $153. If you catch a few of these, you will be making some good money quick. And again, that's on the Dendro spoon with the 3/0 hook. So if you can really get any spoon, casting spoon, with a 3/0 hook, it's going to be a little bit longer for you to catch up with them or to hook up with your fish, but the result will be bigger. You're going to end up getting these 19-inch 1.7 pound fish. So we'll keep that. So if you see there, that's why I always reel in all the way to my feet. We caught a trophy yellow bass, still on this Dendro spoon, 2.8 pounds and $286. I wish you could catch these all the time, but unfortunately there's just so many fish in here that you can't always guarantee that that's what you're going to get. With this method of using the Dendro spoon, the 3/0 Dendro spoon, you can catch these big fish like this and fill up your keep net very quickly. So we're going to go ahead and fill this up, and I will see you guys in a minute. So we've filled up what would be your fish, your keep net, because you can only get 15 pounds in your keep net right now. I just didn't buy it, so I'm still using my original keep net that I'm using. But you might say, Jake, why is it at 15.9 pounds? I can only hold 15 pounds. Well, this game allows you to tinker with the weight a little bit. And this is why I like the keep net, is because you can go over that 15 pounds. The last fish that I caught was a yellow bass right here that was 1.336 pounds. I was at about 14.5 pounds before I caught this. It gave me $61 for 1.3 pounds. Now, because I have a keep net instead of a stringer, I can kind of tinker with the weight, and I can see which fish are giving me the best kind of bang for my buck. I want the most even weight to money ratio. So I'll come down here and see I have a couple of crappie that are about a pound a piece, and they only give me $25 per crappie that I caught. Where if I find another fish, because that will free up room, and I'll show you, if you go in and hit the info and then release them, that will bring you back under that 15 pounds. Now I'm at 14.7 and I can catch one more fish. Now I'm going to be picky from here on which fish I keep, because if I catch a 1 pound fish, now I can make $100 on that if I catch a chain pickerel versus the 1 pound for $50 total for 2 crappie. So it's going to give you better money. So now I'm at $1,251. Let's catch one more fish and I'll be right back. All right, so now I'm back. I just caught this grass pickerel that was 0.82 pounds. I know it's not a whole lot, but for the sake of the video, I made $72 on that 0.82, and I'm still at 15.6 pounds. So now with this, I've gotten $1,300 if I were to fast forward and move on, which now covers my travel cost plus day one of fishing. Now you're going to want to stay here for a couple of days, because that will allow you to now, if I produce the same result tomorrow, all it cost me is $200 to stay, because you already have the $1,000 travel cost. You're already here. So now it's only $200, and now you're making $1,100 per day that you stay here at Mudwater. So there you have it. That's how you catch fish and make lots of money here at Mudwater. Make sure that you stay a few days. And if you like spoon fishing, then this is the way to go. If you like minnow fishing, keep in mind that you will need to bring enough minnows. I have 33 of them left, and I think I started with 39. So a fish will consume a minnow every time you make a catch. Just keep that in mind, that they do cost. And if you come over here to the shop in the Mudwater store, you can catch the 3rd ounce #1 spoons that I was talking about earlier in both silver and gold. So don't worry about losing them. You get 5 lures for almost $200. It's not a big deal. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. I'll jump on and respond to that. And we will see y'all for the next one.